This is about Nadia Murad Basee's the Yazidis, the Christian minorities, and their right to the rule of law. The stark grievances of the Yazidis, Christian minorities, and all other victims of atrocity crimes in Syria, Iraq, etc., and by ISIS, Daesh, etc., lucidly reminds oneself of the pronouncement in 2003 by the ICTY trial chamber in the case of Momir Nikolic, case number IT-02-60/1-S, a sentencing judgment which asserted that the ICTY is intended to send a message to all persons that any violations of international humanitarian law, and particularly the practice of ethnic cleansing, would not be tolerated and must stop. Hence, the reproduction of the lucid paragraph of the said sentencing judgment is very apt. Paragraph 59 of the judgment. The tribunal was to achieve justice through criminal proceedings. The purpose of such proceedings was multifold. The primary objective was to convict and punish those individually responsible for their crimes. The suffering and loss of the victims of such crimes would thereby be internationally recognized and acknowledged. Furthermore, through criminal proceedings, the Security Council intended to send a message to all persons that any violations of international humanitarian law, and particularly the practice of ethnic cleansing, would not be tolerated and must stop. It was further hoped that by highlighting breaches of obligations under international humanitarian law, and in particular the Geneva Conventions, the parties to the conflict would recommit themselves to observing and adhering to those obligations, thereby preventing the commission of further crimes. Finally, it was hoped that this commitment to an impunity in the former Yugoslavia will promote respect for the rule of law globally. Thus, the highly respected judgment must not ring hollow, for it will lead to further disrespect for the global rule of law and flourishing impunities and the abundance of atrocity crimes and victims, which has become the resounding grievances of the Yazidis, Christian minorities, and other victims of such atrocity crimes. Thus, it is submitted that Nadia Murad Basee, the Yazidis, Christian minorities, and all the victims of atrocity crimes are entitled to the right of the rule of law, and they are entitled that their suffering and their loss of such atrocity crimes must thereby be internationally recognized and acknowledged, pursuant to Article 7 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and pursuant in accordance with the sentencing judgment of the ICTY itself.